Show me the switch on the video and Ranveer, switch on the video and show me the calculator. Okay. Q power. Okay. Anyway, right. When you are able to see the word format again, lab manual.
Yes.
Yeah. So using photoelasticity principle, we are having 4 experiments. First two will be to find out a material fringe constant of photoelastic material. So essentially, it's circular disc subjected to diametral compression. So that means we are going to have a specimen made out of the photoelastic material like epoxy and all, and then we subject that to diametral compression. Then using photoelasticity principle, of course, that we are going to learn later, we are going to find out material fringe constant. It's like Young's modulus of a material, right? Then using pure bending, that is 4-point bending experiment, again we are going to find out metal fringe constant. Then the next experiment is to determine the stress concentration factor, right? So in this case, we will have a circular disc with a hole at the center subjected to diametral compression, and then we find out the stress concentration factor. And then we have got a crane hook model. Okay, so using that, we are going to find out stresses in a crane hook. That's part of part A. And in part B, we have got various parameters of a Porter governor, okay, are determined in this experiment. Then in journal bearing experiment, we are going to find out pressure distribution, right? So pressure distribution, then the coefficient of friction and power loss due to coefficient of friction, all these parameters we are going to find out in case of journal bearing, okay? And next experiment is to find out principal stresses and strains in a member subjected to combined loading using strain rosettes. So here we are going to have 2 more additional experiments. Of course, that I'll come to that later. Then we have determination of stresses in a curved beam using strain gauge. And then experiment on gyroscope is demonstration purpose only. Okay. So the marks is for, in your case, it is 16 marks. Okay, and this is the lab layout. Anyway, that we'll see that later. Now, these are the list of experiments that we have got, around 15 experiments. Calibration using pure bending, that is, we are going to find out metal fringe constant. Then we are going to find out the calibration of the photoelastic material subjected to diametral compression. Again, we are going to find out metal fringe constant here. And then we find out stress concentration factor in a circular disc with a hole. That's another experiment. And the stresses in a given crane hook. So all these first 4 experiments are related to photoelasticity. Okay, experiments under photoelasticity equipment. Next, we have got balancing of given masses. Then we find out stresses and strains in a shaft under bending, then under torsion, then under combined bending and torsion. So the experiment 8 is as per the syllabus, but 6 and 7 under bending, under torsion, they are additional experiments in the lab which we need to conduct. Okay, right? And then we have compare the theoretical and experiment critical speed of a given shaft. So it's essentially under vibration. Then natural frequency of a spring mass system, this is additional experiment. Natural frequency of a simple pendulum, another additional experiment for the lab. Then natural frequency of a spring mass system with damping. That's one of the experiments. Then power and effort of a governor is what Porter governor is what we do here. Then plotting of pressure distribution in a journal bearing, and then determination of stress in a curved beam using strain gauge technique. Right? These are all the 15 experiments. So today we are going to learn about or conduct experiment number 9, that is comparing theoretical and experimental critical speed of a given shaft and the determination of stresses in curved beam using strain gauge technique. Are you all there with me? Are you all there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now we will come to critical speed of a shaft. Yeah. Right. So essentially, all the shafts are subjected to rotation. When the natural frequency of the shaft becomes equal to excited frequency, what's going to happen is there is going to be a resonance. At resonance, the amplitude of vibration will be large, which will lead to failure of the given shaft. So how does this happen is because you will have a shaft with mounted with the gears and pulleys. That's what we learned in our fifth semester design of shafts chapter. Okay, the shafts are subjected to pulleys and gears, right? Then, because of such rotating gears and pulleys on a shaft, the CG of the pulley and CG of the shaft will have variation. There is going to be presence of eccentricity. Then, because of this eccentricity and rotation, there is going to be enormous amount of centrifugal force, right? So this enormous amount of centrifugal force will increase the amplitude of vibration, and finally this will lead to whirling or critical speed, and finally the shaft fails when the natural frequency becomes equal to excited frequency. Is that okay? So the speed at which the shaft runs, so that additional deflection of the shaft from the axis of rotation becomes infinite, and this condition is known as critical or whirling speed of a shaft. Okay, are you all there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now please note down this, whatever that I highlighted here. Please note down this into your notebook. The speed at which shaft runs, so that additional deflection of the shaft from the axis of rotation, when it becomes infinite, amplitude of vibration is going to be infinite, which eventually leads to the failure of or breakage of shaft. Okay, note down this sentence. You need to show all the calculations at the end of the experiment. So don't keep watching in the mobile. You have to work out. You have to show me the answer. Noted? Are you done with it?
Yes, sir.
1 minute.
Yeah. All right. Now, take down the heading as critical speed of shafts. Aim of this experiment is to determine the critical speed of shaft theoretically and verify the same through experiment. Now down critical speed of shaft, aim of the experiment to determine critical speed of shaft theoretically and verify the same through experiment. That is the aim of the experiment. Noted? Yeah. Note down the observations. First one is diameter of the shaft. It is 5 mm. That is 0.005 meters. Length of shaft 980 mm. That is 0.98 meters. Density of shaft material is 7840 kg per meter cube. Okay. Then elastic modulus of shaft material is 200 GPa. That is 200 into 10 power 9 Newton per meter square. Note down the observations. Finished, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Others just observe, don't do anything for a while. So there are, the shaft is subjected to mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, mode 4, mode 5, like that of vibrations. In mode 1, I think if you remember your analysis lab, if you have done the modal analysis of a beam, then you will know what is mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, how would the mode 1, mode 2 vibrations look like. Anyway, so if this is a shaft, this horizontal line represents a shaft which is mounted between bearings. When this shaft starts rotating, because of eccentricity, okay, on the shaft, it is going to have a bend on either side of the centroidal axis, okay. It will bend like this. The beam will bend like this, okay, during rotation. So when we get the shaft being bent in this way, then we can say we have got the shaft is vibrating in mode 1 type of vibration, okay. Right. So when the shaft bends like a bow like this, okay, on either side of its centroidal axis, then we will say that the shaft is vibrating in mode 1 method. Then as you increase the speed of the shaft further, what will happen is the shaft will oscillate or vibrate in this fashion, where you will get a point of changeover over here, okay. You will get a point of changeover over there. Okay, so there, okay, at this juncture, what you are going to have is what is called as a node. At the point of node, the amplitude of vibration is going to be 0, okay. Such points where the amplitude of vibration of a shaft is 0, then we call it as node, okay. So when you have one node, then we would say that the shaft is subjected to mode 2 type of vibration. Similarly, if you keep increasing the speed of the shaft, again the shaft will flow like this, and you will get one more node, okay, one more node. Then we would say that the shaft is vibrating under mode 3 type of vibration. So in mode 4, you will have 3 nodes. In mode 5, you will have 4 nodes. Like that, it will keep on going. But our experiment has got a limitation of going up to mode 1 type of vibration and mode 2 type of vibration. That is, mode 1, you will get at one speed. Mode 2, you will get at another speed. So when we get mode 1 type of vibration, we would say it as first critical speed. When it rotates at mode 2 type of vibration, we will say that it is rotating at second critical speed. Now, our job is to find out the critical speed for mode 1 and critical speed for mode 2 for our experiment. Is that okay? So that essentially is given by equation 2.45 into root of EI by ml to the power 4 hertz. So when you multiply the frequency in hertz by 60, you will get speed in RPM, because it's cycles per second into the number of seconds will give you the critical speed in RPM. Similarly, for second mode of vibration, FCR2 is given by 7.95 into root of EI by ml to the power 4, where E is Young's modulus, that is 200 GPa is given in the problem. I is moment of inertia. Okay. How do you find out I value for a circular cross section? Rajat Kumar, what is the equation for moment of inertia for circular cross section under bending? Rajat, Simika, Chanakya. What is the equation for finding out moment of inertia of a circular cross section member or member of circular cross section? What is the equation for I value, moment of inertia?
Pi d power 4 by 64, sir.
Excellent, Chanakya. Good. Okay. I is pi d 4 by 64. Here, m is mass per unit length, right? And L is length of shaft, that is 0.98 meter. So use that equation. Then mass per unit length, m is given by pi d square by 4, that is area into density. Density is known as 7840 kg per meter cube. So calculate mass per unit length m. Moment of inertia I is equal to pi d 4 by 64. Then theoretical frequency 1, substitute here in this equation for critical frequency for mode 1 multiplied by 60, you will get RPMs. Is that okay? Are you all there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please calculate and let me know the mode 1, critical speed 1 and critical speed 2. Note down these equations. E stands for Young's modulus, I stands for moment of inertia, m is mass per unit length, and L is length of shaft. Please note down that much. Note down the equations, calculate, and let me know the critical speeds 1 and 2.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me, Varun.
So what is the value of M, sir, in the denominator?
Mass per unit length.
So
Value
one.
is it? It's not displayed there in your screen. Hello, Arun?
Oh, yes, sir. Got it. Got it. Yes, sir. Got it.
It is 0.1539 kg per meter.
Yes, sir. Got it. Sir.
So it is pi d square by 4 is the area into density. Okay. 0.1539 kg per meter. Moment of inertia, what you get is 3.067 into 10 power minus 11 meter to the power 4. Please tell me critical speed 1 and critical speed 2 after calculation.
Sir,
Yeah,
for critical speed, one is 966.31, sir.
correct. Okay.
And two is 3135.6, sir.
Okay, excellent. Okay. Others, please check your values. Others, please check. Are you all getting the same value?
First one I got, sir. Second one I'm calculating.
Yeah.
First one, critical speed one I got the same, sir. Second one I'm calculating.
Okay. Okay. Yogananda, Srinivasulu, do you have calculators with you? Shiv Pavan, are you there?
Sir, calculating
Please
critical speed.
calculate. Please calculate. Simika, calculating. Simika, tell me the answer for second critical speed. Finished, huh? Simika, what is the second critical speed? Vivian, completed? Ranveer Singh, have you calculated? Yeah, if you don't talk, I assume you are all muted out.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay.
Yes.
Ranveer Singh, Rajat Kumar, Dhanush. Completed. Dhanush. Hey, what is this I say?
Done, sir.
If you people don't talk, Mike, you should get it done, Dhanush. All the things you should get it done. Last
So
semester it was okay.
3135.6.
Tell me, Simika.
So 3135.6.
Okay. All right. Hope everyone has done. Now we'll go through the video of critical speed of shaft expansion. So 1 RPM is, first critical speed is 966.3 RPM. Second critical speed is 3135.6 RPM. Okay. Now we have to confirm this value of critical speed 1 and 2 with experimental values. So let's see how we are going to get. Can you see the video?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is essentially the setup of critical speed. Okay. So there is a shaft. If you see, can you see the shaft in your screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This shaft, which is of 5 mm diameter and 0.98 meter length, is mounted between two bearings, and this shaft is rotated by this motor, and to run this motor it will be connected through a dimmerstat, and through dimmerstat, by increasing the voltage, we can vary the speed of this shaft. Okay, and then as this shaft bends like a bow here, then we are going to take the speed, okay, of the rotating shaft. That will give us critical speed 1. Then keep increasing the voltage using dimmerstat. Okay, the speed of the shaft increases. When we get second mode, as we saw in our previous slide, where you get node 1, okay, that is one node out here, wherein the amplitude of vibration is going to be 0. Okay, so when we get that way, then we take the second critical speed using a tachometer, which is a digital tachometer. Okay, now let's observe the video. So at the center we have got a shaft, and a cage is covered in the yellow color. That's the cage, so that even if the shaft flies out, there is no danger. And the shaft is connected to a motor. Okay, so that is the motor. So through that motor, the shaft will rotate. The shaft is mounted between two bearings. Now, before you start the exercise, now you take up the dimmerstat. That is the dimmerstat. Then from the knots from the motor, connect them to the dimmer stat. We have yellow and red and okay. Can you see that this is the dimmer stat? Okay, knobs from the motor are connected to dimmer stat over here. Okay, are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And see
Sir.
that the pointer of the dimmer stat is at 0 before the experiment. Okay, again, please watch the video now. Connected to dimmer stat. The dimmer stat in turn is connected to the plug point there. So switch on the plug point and see that the dimmer stat is at 0 position before you start your experiment. Okay, before you start the experiment, see that dimmer stat is at 0 voltage. Now you start giving the voltage through dimmer stat and the shaft starts rotating. Okay, the shaft has started rotating. The moment you get a bow shape like in the shaft, okay, that indicates the first mode of vibration of the shaft. Once you get that, now take the tachometer, digital tachometer, okay, the tachometer to place it at the position given on the motor. Place the tachometer on the position and keep the knob pressed. Okay. If you don't keep, if you don't keep it pressed, you will not get the RPM reading over here. You all understand? Could you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you don't keep that pressed, that knob you have to keep pressed, then only it will show the reading. Otherwise, it will not. It's showing around 1000 RPM over here. Note down this RPM. Now, what you do is keep increasing the voltage through dimmer stat such that the shaft will go to mode 2 type of vibration. We say mode 2 when you get a load like that where there is going to be zero amplitude, but on either side we have vibration taking place. Okay, can you see the amplitude zero at the center? That part. Yeah. Now at this juncture, again take tachometer, place it in the position and slow down the rate. 3292. Note down or 3284. That will give you the speed of second mode of vibration. Now turn off by slowly reducing the voltage of the dimmer stat. Okay, now we have to compare the results analytically that you obtained for mode 1 and mode 2 with the experimental values of speed. Yeah, could you all understand? Could you understand what is done?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, we'll play it again. I'll play it again. Please watch the video. This is the entire setup of critical speed of shaft arrangement. So at the center you have got a shaft and a cage is covered in the yellow color. That's the cage, so that even if the shaft flies out, there is no danger. And the shaft is connected to a motor. Okay, so that is the motor. So through that motor, the shaft will rotate. The shaft is mounted between two bearings. Now, before you start the exercise, now you take up the dimmer stat. That is the dimmer stat. Then from the knobs from the motor, connect them to the dimmer stat. You have yellow and red and green knobs connected to dimmer stat. The dimmer stat in turn is connected to the plug point there. So switch on the plug point and see that the dimmer stat is at 0 position before you start your experiment. Okay, before you start the experiment, see that dimmer stat is at 0 voltage. Now you start giving the voltage through dimmer stat and the shaft starts rotating. Okay, the shaft has started rotating. The moment you get a bow shape like in the shaft, okay, that will indicate the first mode of vibration of the shaft. Once you get that, now take the tachometer, okay, that is the tachometer, so place it at the position given on the motor. Place the tachometer on the position and keep the knob pressed and you will get the reading. So now it is showing around. Note down 979.3. RPM. Note down this RPM. Now, what you do is keep increasing the voltage through dimmer tab such that the shaft will go to mode 2 type of vibration. We say mode 2 when you get a node like that where there is going to be zero amplitude, but on either side we have vibration taking place. Okay, when you see the amplitude zero at the center, now at this juncture again take the tachometer, place it in the position and note down the reading. It's showing 3282. So note down the value of RPM. That will give you the speed of second mode of vibration. Now, turn off by slowly reducing the voltage of the dimmer tab. Okay, now we have to compare the results analytically that you obtained for mode 1 and mode 2 with the experimental values of speed. Okay, could you understand? Please note down the values. Please note down the values of first critical experimental value of first critical speed and second critical speed. That was showing around 979.3 and another one is 3282 RPM. Okay. Noted?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Pavan, Varun, noted down the RPMs?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's about critical speed of shaft experiment. Now let's look at curved beam experiment. Anybody needing time or any doubt in this so far? Meghnath Prasad, Gunasagar?
No, sir.
Okay. Gautam Sai?
Sir, no, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Rajat Kumar? Rajat? Rajat Kumar, have you understood? No voice. So I switched it on and gone, Rajat Kumar? Okay, understanding. Fine. Okay, now we'll move on to next experiment. Yeah. Can you see stresses in curved beams? Heading?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is a curved beam? Essentially, just the previous semester we learned what is a curved beam. Can anyone tell me what is curved beam? Yeah, Varun, Pavan, one of you. Okay. Anyway, if the straight beams, when they are subjected to bending moment, the neutral axis will bend because of application of load and also because of bending moment. The effect of bending moment is to bend the member. So when the load is applied or moment is applied onto the beam, then only the neutral axis will bend. But whereas in certain beams called curved beams, the neutral axis is already bent even before the application of bending moment. Such beams are called curved beams. Example, can anyone give me examples of curved beam?
Crane hook.
Crane hook, sir.
Yeah, excellent. Crane hook, frames of punching press, links, and so on. Okay. So now In our design of machine elements 2, we learned that you will have inner fiber and you will have stress at outer fiber also. And at inner fiber, you will get maximum stress. Outer fiber, we are going to get minimum stress. And for the type of loading that is shown in the sketch, the inner fiber is subjected to what type of stress? What type of stress it is subjected to?
Compressive.
Compressive. Who said compressive? Who said compressive? Is it compressive or tensile? For this type of loading indicated by arrow, the inner fiber is subjected to what type of stress?
Tensile.
Tensile stress, and outer fiber is subjected to compressive stress. Correct on. So here, this is the point of application of load, and this is the line which is indicating center line of curvature. The distance between center line of curvature and point of application of load is 65 mm given in the problem. Okay, and these are the observations. That is radius of inner fiber, that is center line of curvature to inner fiber is 12 mm, and the diameter of the curved beam is 12 mm. It's a circular cross section crane hook or curved beam that we have got. Diameter is 12 mm. So RI is 12, diameter is 12. So therefore, your radius of outer fiber is going to be 12 plus 4, 12, that is going to be 24 mm. Since it is regular cross section, the centroidal axis is going to be RI plus half of diameter, that's going to be 12 plus 6 is give you 18 mm as centroidal axis distance or radius of centroidal axis. I'll just change it to radius. That will be more apt. Radius of centroidal axis 12 plus 6, okay, is 18 mm. Next, Young's modulus of curved beam material given is 200 GPa and diameter of the curved beam is 12 mm. Okay. Now note down, aim of the experiment is to find stresses at inner and outer fibers of a given curved beam analytically and comparing them with experimental results. Note down, aim of the experiment, observations, then we'll go further with calculation of stress at inner fiber and stress at outer fiber. Okay, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. One. Yeah, they're all there. One has already left.
Sir,
Huh? Yeah. Have you noted down the aim and observations?
yes,
Hello?
sir.
Okay. So analytical calculation, stress at inner fiber is given by F by A plus MCI by AERI, and stress at outer fiber is given by F by A minus MBCO by AERO. Okay. Where F is applied force, A is area of cross section, and bending moment here. So here, force into perpendicular distance. Okay, we have from center line of cross section to or the radius of centroidal axis as 18 mm. Okay, but the load is at a distance of 65 mm from center line of curvature. So therefore, your bending moment is going to be F into R plus 65. So find out that bending moment for that particular force. Okay, what you do is you calculate first the neutral axis, radius of neutral axis, root of RO plus RI whole square divided by 4 will give you the radius of neutral axis. Area of cross section of curved beam is pi d squared by 4. Eccentricity is R minus Rn. Distance of inner fiber to neutral axis is Ci, that is Rn minus Ra. This we have learnt in our design of machine elements too. And then CO you find out. Bending moment you find out for a force of 5 kg, 10 kg, 15 kg. Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
For 5 kg force, find out moment, find out sigma I and sigma outer. For 10 kg force, that is 10 into 9.81. 5 kg is 5 into 9.81. 15 is 15 into 9.81. Okay. So 5 into 9.81. Okay. That is going to be the force. R is 18 mm. So for 5 kg, find out bending moment. And then find out the stress at inner fiber and stress at outer fiber. Similarly, for 10 kg, stress sigma I, sigma O. For 15 kg, sigma I and sigma O. Okay. Calculate and then let me know the values. Then we'll go to the experiment. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All of you please calculate the stresses at inner and outer fibers for 5 kg, 10 kg, 15 kg load. Find out radius of neutral axis and eccentricity. Finished, calculating?
So doing outer fiber. So
Okay. Please check whether you are getting 32.38.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
32.39.
Yeah, okay. For 5 kg, it is 32.38 at inner fiber. Outer fiber is minus
18.85.
18.53.
yeah, 18.5. So for 10 kg, it is 64.7 and minus 37.1.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you getting for 10 kg 64.7 and 37.1?
Sir.
And for 15 kg? Pawan, third batch starts from where? Varun onwards or what? Vidyan Prakash is also in your batch?
Yes, sir.
yes, yes, sir. I think it starts from Vidyan, sir.
Oh, it starts from Vidyan, is it? Okay. Finished, huh?
Yes, sir.
What is the value for 15 kg? What is the value for 15 kg?
Same,
So-
sir. 97.15 and minus 55.62.
Okay. Others, are you getting the value?
Yes, sir.
Chanakya,
Yes, sir.
Gautam, getting the values?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So they are the theoretical stresses at inner and outer fibers. Now let's look at how the experiment is going to be conducted. Okay. Yeah, this is the setup of curved beam experiment. So there you have got curved beam. Are you able to see the video? Inner and outer fiber are to be found out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you seeing the video? The strain gauge fitted at inner and
Yes,
outer
sir.
fiber. Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. This is the setup of curved beam experiment. So there you have got. So this is the curved beam here. Okay. This is the curved beam. Okay. That we have chosen. This is of 12 mm diameter. At inner and outer fibers, it is pasted with strain gauges, and this is connected to a load cell. Okay. Okay. And you have got the strain gauge fitted at inner and outer fiber of the curved beam to extract the values. So that is the load cell. Okay. And then the load cell is connected to the wheel. Then through this wheel, we are going to So through the wheel, we are going to apply the load. Okay. That is a tensile force on the curved beam is applied through the worm and valve wheel setup that we have got. Onto the curved beam. Okay. So through strain gauges, they are connected to the indicator. This is the curved beam setup indicator. Okay. So this is the inner fiber reading. This is the outer fiber reading. Okay. Are you all there with me? Are you listening? Are you seeing the video? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this inner fiber reading, it will give you in micro strain. So whatever the value that you are going to get here, you multiply it by 10 power minus 6 for calculation. And then here, this will give you the value of outer fiber strain values, micro strain values. And here we are going to apply load, okay, in kgs. That we multiply it by 9.81, okay. And before we start the experiment, we do calibration. That is set kg to 00, will load to 00 here using this knob, and then inner fiber also will get some values once you switch it on. So rotate this knob, which is indicated by 0, may see that it is set to 0. Similarly, outer fiber. Okay. Now this is connected to the plug point out there. Okay, this is connected to plug point. So switch on the plug point. Switch on the plug point. You will get something like this. So the first one will give you strain at outer fiber. Second one will give you strain of inner fiber, and the third one will indicate the load. Now it is showing minus 6.3. We need to make it to 0. We need to make it to 0 by rotating the wheel and see that it is set to 00. Okay, now it is set to 00, and now you set the strain at inner and outer fiber also to 0 by rotating the knob. Set it to 0, close to 0. Yeah. Now come to outer fiber. Is now set to 0. Okay. Now slowly you start giving the load through the wheel. Okay, we will take reading initially for 5 kgs. Initially for 5 kgs, keep rotating slowly. So 5 kgs. Note down the readings of inner fiber. Okay, note down the reading at inner fiber. It is showing 166 microstrains, 166 into 10 power minus 6. And this is outer fiber minus 100 into 10 power minus 6 for 5 kgs. Are you there with me? Are you there? Note down these values. For 5 kgs, inner fiber strain is 166 into 10 power minus 6. And for outer fiber, it is minus 100 into 10 power minus 6. And outer fiber, it's showing 166 and 100 strain, micro strain. Okay. And now,
So could you please repeat, sir?
then go to yeah.
Could you please repeat, sir?
Which one, video or explanation?
No, sir. The values of inner and outer fiber.
Yeah. And outer fiber, it's showing 166. Okay. It is 166 at inner fiber, minus 100 in outer fiber. 166 into 10 power minus 6. 160, I mean minus 100 into 10 power minus 6 in outer fiber. Okay.
Yes, sir.
6 and 100 strain, micro strain. Okay. And now note down those readings. Then go to 10 kgs. Keep increasing the load. Go to 10 kgs. So that's through the wheel slowly. You give the load. Okay. Till it reaches 10 kgs. Now note down the strain, micro strain. Okay. So for 10 kgs, it is 313 microstrain at inner fiber and minus 189 at outer fiber. Okay. That is 313 at inner fiber, minus 189 at outer fiber. Inner fiber, 313 microstrain at outer fiber, which is minus 190, 190, around 187. Note down the microstrain reading. So like this, take the reading for 15 kgs and note down the microstrain readings and then calculate stresses at inner and outer fiber for various loads and then compare them with your analytical solution. Okay, now it is 15 kgs. 15 kg. The strain at inner fiber is 489, strain at outer fiber is minus 292. So, like this, you take reading for 3 different loads and calculate stresses and strains at inner and outer fiber. Compare them with your theoretical calculations. Now, what we need to do is slowly relieve the load cell of the load by slowly rotating the wheel and making the load reading to 0. So load is applied in the form of kgs. So reduce it to 0. Okay. So compare the results. That's what you need to do.
ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 8 ಜನ ಬೇರೆ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಸಿಗ್ನೇಚರ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
Okay. Shall I play it again?
Yes, sir.
This is the setup of curved beam experiment. So there you have got curved beam whose stresses at inner and outer fiber are to be found out. Okay, and you have got the strain gauge fitted at inner and outer fiber of the curved beam to extract the values. So that is the load cell. Okay, and then the load cell is connected to the wheel there. Through this wheel, you are going to apply load onto the curved beam. Okay, so through strain gauges, they are connected to the indicator. This is the curved beam setup indicator. Okay, now this is connected to the plug point out there. Okay, this is connected to plug point. So switch on the plug point. Switch on the plug point. You will get something like this. So the first one will give you strain at outer fiber. Second one will give you strain of inner fiber, and the third one will indicate the load. Now it is showing minus 6.3. We need to make it to 0. We need to make it to 0 by rotating the wheel and see that it is set to 0, 0. Okay, now it is set to 0, 0. And now you set the strain at inner and outer fiber also to 0 by rotating the knob. Set it to 0, close to 0. Yeah. Now come to outer fiber. Is now set to 0. Okay. Now slowly you start giving the load through the wheel. Okay. We will take reading initially for 5 kgs. Initially for 5 kgs, keep rotating slowly. So 5 kgs. Note down the readings of inner fiber and outer fiber. It's showing 166 and 100 strain, micro strain. Okay. And now note down those readings. Then go to 10 kgs. Keep increasing the load. Go to 10 kgs. So that's through the wheel slowly. You give the load, okay, till it reaches 10 kg. Now, note down the strain, micro strain at inner fiber, which is 313, micro strain at outer fiber, which is minus 190, 190, around 187. Note down the micro strain reading. So like this, take reading for 15 kgs and note down the micro strain readings and then calculate stresses at inner and outer fiber for various loads and then compare them with your analytical solution. Okay, now it is 15 kgs. For 15 kg, the strain at inner fiber is 489, strain at outer fiber is minus 292. Okay, so like this you take reading for 3 different loads and calculate stresses and strains at inner and outer fiber, compare them with your theoretical calculations. Now, what you need to do is slowly relieve the load cell of the load by slowly rotating the wheel and making the load reading to 0. So, load is applied in the form of kgs. So, reduce it to 0. Okay, so compare the results. That's what you need to do in curve beam expert. Okay. Okay. Now.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಡೇಟು ಅದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಡೇಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೆ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಹೆನ್ಸಿವ್ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಹೌದು ಎರಡೂ ಒಂದು 3 ತಿಂಗಳ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಡೇಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೊಲೋಕಿಯಂ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 6 ತಿಂಗಳ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೆ. ಏನೋ ನನಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಕಳಿಸಿ
Okay, so stress at inner fiber is epsilon at inner fiber into Young's modulus. Strain at outer fiber and Young's modulus product will give you stress at outer fiber. You are all there with me? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please calculate the stresses at inner and outer fibers. Simple. Multiply that strain into 10 power minus 6 into Young's modulus will give you stress at inner fiber and outer fiber. Give me the values quicker. What are the values you are getting? It is just multiplication of strain and Young's modulus. By Hooke's law, we know Young's modulus is equal to stress by strain. So stress is equal to strain into Young's modulus. What are the values? Pavan Madidra?
33.2 and minus 20 I'm getting, sir.
33.2 and minus 20.
Sir.
Yeah, that's fine. Next.
Next, I'm doing, sir. I'm doing.
Okay. Others, please note down, calculate and cross-check the values of experimental values of stresses. It is now on your screens. Please check your answers. Okay, done? Meghnath Prasad, Gunasagar, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what are the values, Gunasagar?
So for 10 kg, 62.61, sir.
Okay, outer fiber? Outer fiber, how much?
Sir, 37.31, sir.
Minus 37.4, tane?
Minus.
Okay, then for 15 kg. Okay. Please calculate for 15 kg. Just 313 into 10 power minus 6 into 200 into 10 power 3. For that you need so much time to calculate. What is the value for 15 kg? Varun, completed.
Yes, sir.
What is the value for 15 kg?
I got 98.2 as inner fiber and minus 57.6 outer fiber.
Okay, that's fine. Others, please note down these values. Okay. Yeah. Vidyan Prakash, present or absent? Vivian Varun,
And sir,
YP Pavan,
Present, sir.
Dhyanesh, Gunasagar,
Present, sir.
Meghnad,
Present, sir. Present, sir.
okay, Prajwalar, Rasik Baran, Shiva Krishna, Shreyas, Srinivasulu, okay, Yogananda,
Present, sir.
Gautam Sai,
Present, sir.
Pappala Chanakya,
Present, sir.
okay, Ranveer Singh, Simika,
Present, sir.
okay, Dhanush is present, okay, Kiran R, Rajat present, okay,
So you didn't call out my names.
Shiv Pavan, okay, lad. Okay, okay, Shiv Pavan, right. Okay, please go through whatever that is done and try to complete the record also. Let's see. Okay.